Hey, crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada. Today we're playing with a one-sheet wonder. If you're not familiar with one-sheet wonders, that's where you take one sheet of cardstock and trim it down into various sizes to create coordinating cards. I've got 3 pieces of Azure Afternoon, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 to make our card bases. Then I've also got a strip of Lemon Lolly, which is 8.5 by 3 1/4. I have 1 strip for this card, 1 strip for this card, and 1 strip for this card. Then I've cut our pieces of patterned paper. This is a 12 by 12 that I cut down for paper shares into 6 by 6 or 6 by 12, depending on the share. We're doing 1 piece here. That's 5.5 by 3 inches. All of these diagrams will be on my blog, so be sure to pop up over there, which the link is down below. And also don't forget to like and subscribe so you're notified every single time a brand new video goes live. Then we've got a piece that I cut into a 3-inch square and then cut them down to 1.5. So the 3-inch got cut down into 1/4 or 4 quarters. And then this piece is what's remaining from our 5.5 inch. So we've got 2 half-inch strips, and then we've got this piece that is the remainder, 2.5 by 3. Sorry, took a minute there. So let's get to assembling. The stamp set that I'm using for today is Layering Leaves. I've got our pearls, antique pearls, which is my newest obsession out of this mini catalog. I absolutely love them. Probably going to use dimensionals because I usually do, and I'm just going to be stamping in black Memento ink. So yeah, let's get going. So I'm going to put all of these guys off to the side for now. Excuse me. Grab our Stampin' Seal, and then I'm just going to do, as usual, 2 strips down the center. Now you can orient this however you want. Right at the edge, a little bit in from the edge, smack dab in the middle, whichever way you feel your card needs. I'm going to do it slightly off because I do like to have that little bit of detail. And then, excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. Our sentiment piece here, we're going to do with Layering Leaves. And I think I like Hello. It's a very fitting multi-use stamp. And I'm just going to do it off to the edge, grab our ink. So just tap, tap, tap. And again, if you didn't want to use black, you could stamp it in whatever color you wanted to. And I'm going to do it to the left. So straight down, straight up, no halos. And then cover so we don't get a mess. And then, of course, dimensionals, I like to do 4. I might do 5. Just add an extra one into the center here. And then just peel our backing off. And then again, place your sentiment wherever you like. I don't really want to cover up the flowers too much. And then we're just going to grab I think the medium-sized ones for this card today. Whoops. There. So quick and easy for our very first card. For our next one, let's do the strips here. Oh. So we've got our piece that is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we do have room on our strips, and then you can lay this out however you want. I think I'm going to choose to do it this way. I think. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So we're just going to do our strip of adhesive. And sort of aim for center. And sort of aim for even. If you want to make sure that your card is a lot more even, you could totally line it up either on grid paper or with a ruler. I'm fairly comfortable with eyeballing, and it's usually pretty accurate. Sometimes it's not, but for the most part, and it's handmade. So, you know, that's what makes it unique, is when you have those little oops moments. Okay, so that, whoops. Speaking of oops moments. Okay, so there, and bring that over a bit. Okay, and then if you think it's upside down, all you need to do is flip it over. I'm not sure. I think I like it this way better. And then we're just going to place this on our card. I'm going to figure out our sentiment first. I think a thank you card would be good for this one. Now, I generally like to place my sentiment first, just in case I mess up somewhere. And might need to cover it, because that has been known to happen. So you want to place your card or your layer on your card. Figure out where approximately you want your sentiment to go. And then I'm going to move this out of the way just in case, because, you know, ink happens. And if you want to as well, to make sure that it lays flat when you stamp, you can open up your card base. Straight down, press down, straight up. And then figure out where you're going to put your sentiment. I'm going to do dimensionals again. You do get a lot of value from the dimensionals, and I really do love using them. They come in the minis, which is what I'm using right now because I forgot to grab the big ones. Those are my usual go-tos for stuff like this. But there's also black that come in a pack with both sizes, the minis and the bigs. And then you can always use these pieces around the outside as well, because it's the same material. And it's perfect for like those little strip sentiments, or sometimes when you might just need a little bit bigger of a piece. Okay, so there's our thank you so much. We're going to do our bling thing again. And this one I'm going to do the smaller ones. And we're just going to go straight up. I like odd numbers as always. 3 is my usual, but sometimes you just need more. Actually, maybe I'll do 6. 3 on each side. So technically 6 isn't odd, but because there's 3 on each side, it works. At least in my head. All right. So there's our second One Sheet Wonder card. And you can always change this up with whatever cardstock base color that you want to use. Designer series paper, stamp set. The possibilities really are endless. This is a great way to use up the paper that you're not always sure what to do with. And it gives you something just a little bit extra. Okay, now this is cut into 4s. So I'm just going to make sure that the puzzle pieces piece together properly. Okay, that one goes together like that. And then this one went like that. And then this one is, whoops, there. But I think I'm going to do that. Okay. So flip, 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 flip. I think I'm going to do that. Well, I am now because I've taped it. So decision has been made. Okay. I really do love One Sheet Wonders for the ease and the versatility. Okay, then we're going to line it up there. this one is going to be roughly the same. And of course, you always need to get it stuck to your hand. And then there's our last piece here. The last one is always the easiest one to place because you just line it up top and bottom. So this is 3 1/4. You can place it slightly off center. You can do it square. You could even add another layer that's 1/4 of an inch larger behind it just to add a little bit of extra interest. What am I going to put? I think this is going to be a sending hugs. I really like that sentiment out of this set as well, or best wishes. Maybe best wishes. No. Sending hugs, that can be anything. It could be a thinking of you, it could be a get well soon, or just a hey, I'm thinking about you. I feel like this card needs a little something extra though. Maybe we'll add a little bit of ribbon. Okay, so push this out of the way. We'll do our sending hugs. Let's see, do we want ribbon on this? Yeah, I think we do. Okay. I don't do well with bows. I like bows. I like the way they look. I'm just not very talented when it comes to making them. So we're going to do a cheater method here. We're just going to do a few little weaves of the ribbon. We're going to do it on the right hand side. So we're going to add a little bit of tape here. And then we're just going to simply weave our ribbon a few times. I don't press terribly hard until I know that it's going to end where I want it to end. And if it doesn't, all you need to do is just trim it off. Yeah. So we're just going to play with it a little bit until the spacing is closer to what I envisioned. Oops. Yeah, no, I don't want that sticking out there like a sore thumb. I'll just tuck that tail in. Yeah, that's better. Give it a good press down. Make sure that it's going to stay on our edge, and then I don't want it to lay completely flat, so we'll bring in the dimensionals again. And then for this one, we're going to do the bigger gems, I think. And with these gems, I've done it a few times in the last little while. You can color these guys because they're light enough color with your Stampin' Blends. So they don't have to be that off-white. You can color them whatever color you want. As long as you're using the alcohol markers, it'll be fine. The watercolor inks will just rub right off. Okay, and then if there was a larger hole in the center as well, you could do something to hide that. You could add a piece of bling or something. I'm just going to do our bigger ones. I don't really ever use the bigger pieces of embellishment. I'm not sure why. It's just not something that I think we need more. Put one up there, and the spatula end also works well, but For the bigger ones, my fingers work just fine. And we'll put one kind of there, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes the bling tells me where it wants to go. Sometimes I have to tell it where to go because it's just not speaking to me at the moment. Creativity is definitely a process, and you kind of just need to go with the flow sometimes. So there is our one sheet wonder. 3 very different looking cards with 3 different sentiments, but basically the same elements. And you can always take the basic premise of a one sheet wonder and then create with whatever you have on hand. Don't forget to pop on over to my blog to see the sketch for this one, as well as the cutting instructions. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.